You're listening to episode 122 of Lifestyle Locker Radio with Rob's Sparreboom. Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Hant, and welcome to Lifestyle Locker Radio, where we help you create an awesome life and lifestyle. From nutrition to fitness, mindfulness to peak performance, and relationships to money mindset, we bring you on an amazing journey to help you unleash your human potential. So here's a little bit about our guest today, Rob Sparreboom. He is passionate about balanced lifestyle design. To him, personal development implies having the courage to look at yourself, experiment with new behavior, and integrate the feedback in order to become a better version of yourself and living a life of purpose. In 2013, he changed from a corporate banker to an online entrepreneur with a 4-hour work week. He invested this freed up time in optimizing his lifestyle by studying and experimenting multiple subjects ranging from sleep to mindset and from meditation to nutrition rigorously. He moved with his girlfriend, Kim, from Amsterdam to Tenerife in the Canary Islands in Spain in 2015. They coined this project Zenerife, living a more zen in Tenerife. Their son Tom was born there, and they spend their time on things they deem important: health, relationships with family and friends, and enjoying the beautiful nature and weather of Tenerife. Currently, they train and coach others to create a more balanced lifestyle as well. They offer various programs, both in Tenerife as well as through video calls and online training. So without further ado, here's our guest today, Rob. All right, everyone, in the locker room today, we've got Rob from Zenerife. You heard in his bio, he's got a really unique story, which I'm excited to hear. So, Rob, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I love it. You know, I get to interview people from all around the world. You're the first person from, well, where you're recording from in Tenerife. But I love interviewing people with, well, I'm from the U.S., but that have accents, because I know I pay attention more if I'm sitting in an audience and I hear someone that has like a really, wow, that accent. I'm like, I got to pay attention. This person definitely knows more than I do regardless. And I think that's really neat because our audience really loves lifestyle, really loves people's journeys in life. And yours is really cool. So let's hear some more of it.
Yeah, thanks. Well, so my accent, it's Dutch. And I stutter as well, so pay attention. No, just kidding. My story, so what makes it probably interesting is that what people say is that I left a successful corporate career, like corporate banker, to see whether I could live a more balanced life, spend more time on my passions and on my purpose. I'm really passionate about personal change, like you are. So investigating all the stuff, building an online business to get automated income streams in order to have more time to do all this. And eventually it ended up that we moved to Tenerife, which are the Canary Islands of Spain. Basically, it's already Africa. Mm-hmm. So right now it's in the middle of the winter. And sorry, I'm talking in Celsius. That's 23 degrees Celsius. So that's still summer temperature, only sun, beautiful nature. And yeah, so basically, we're just very experienced in making things happen, in living your purpose and feeling that it really does work. And yeah, we inspired quite a lot of people with that. So we started to train and coach people on just achieving their goals as well, unleashing human potential Lifestyle Locker.
Agreed. That's great. So I want to ask just a question. So, what was the why behind, a successful corporate banking career? I know in the U.S., some of these bankers make fortunes, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
Why would you want to stop doing that and shift? What was the why?
Well, when I was 28 years old, so that's about 9 years ago, I had a sort of like the societal success was already there. I had a nice car, a nice apartment in Amsterdam, a trophy girlfriend, I still have her, so she's nice. But then, a good corporate career, free holidays, whatever, nice friends. But I felt I was sort of lacking, like, okay, is this everything? And where will I be in 10 years now? And I thought, okay, the house will probably be twice as big, probably have a few additional cars. Make some promotions. And then what?
And then what?
And then what? And I didn't know. And that created some sort of restlessness with me. So I thought, okay, I want to work with more purpose. So let's see whether I can help people in a better way. So I thought, well, restructuring companies that are in distress, that might work. But that didn't do the trick. So actually, I found myself in a small burnout.
And you're young for a burnout too.
Yeah, that was when I was 30. Just like always more, and I can handle more and do more things. And I thought, okay, this is structurally not right. So I really need to make a change. So then my soul searching started, and I really took time for that. Like, okay, I don't believe in the quick fix. So who am I? And what do I really truly live for? Because everybody always told me, you're a banker, man. So you're analytical, you like money, your ego, you're dominant, and that's it. Because you are a banker.
So you got pigeonholed
as well.
Yeah.
But then I started to make some personality tests, and it gave a whole different picture. It's like, okay, it's inspiration, motivation. You were born for know thyself, your purpose. And of course, always before I felt that was the restlessness. Yeah. But I couldn't really explain it to others. It's like, yes, something is wrong. I really, truly want to help people. And people said, yeah, right. But you want to earn some money, right? Because you're a banker. So no, I really want to help people.
Yeah.
That can't be because you're a banker. Again, it was so much identity marks that are put on yourself that some other people tell you. So during this process, I started to discover that it was so much better to become more authentic, to discover myself. And of course, with all the fears and pains going through that process, because it's not easy. But now I can tell and know that it just makes life so much better if you can be more authentic, living your purpose based on proper values.
Yeah. So
and that always, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm a New Yorker. I cut people off. Keep going.
I just wanted to say, and that purpose is always bigger than yourself. Yeah. It's okay to have your ego tendencies. And again, it's more understanding your ego tendencies, not dissolving them whatsoever, understanding what your ego does. And then again, try to look at the bigger picture. So what are we, or the collective human mind, so to say, here for? What is your purpose?
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to that. So we leave banking and you do so-called soul searching or finding yourself. What do, like, if someone's going to think about what that looks like or sounds like or feels like, what is soul searching? Like, what were you doing?
Yeah, exactly. For everybody that can be different. So okay. Yeah, let's be more specific. I did quite a lot of Vipassana silent retreats.
Okay.
So that's like really 10 days hardcore meditation, 12 hours a day. And that's they call it insight meditation as well, because you're only observing your mind. So those 60,000 thoughts that you have on a daily basis, really observe them, and not to go into the story, but just observe them as what they are. And with all and the whole process between body and mind that happens there. So like, okay, when I have this thought, my body ramps up and it starts to tingle, blah, blah, blah. And you're constantly aware of what's just happening in your system. And you get so many insights like, oh, this is what is constantly happening. And hey, there's not even somebody triggering it, but I'm still mad, or suddenly I'm happy. And it can shift like within 1 second.
Okay.
And so that gave huge, big insights that, well, basically we are always responsible. It's never, the other one can be the trigger. But it's always my reaction to you. And it's never, ever the other way around. And you get big insights through those retreats. But that's just one way. Other people would use ayahuasca. Other people maybe experience a cold training of a Wim Hof method, and how your body reacts to that. That's of course also to understand yourself more thoroughly. Changing your diet, testing something, same happens there. And then again, what I think is what I truly believe in is do it in a balanced way. Don't believe you are on the Holy Grail kind of thing. Like, well, this is it and everybody needs to do it. No, of course not. Try some meditation. Try some this. But do keep in mind your body. Do keep in mind your mind.
Yeah.
And also focus on your purpose. And if you constantly define and redefine there your targets, your purpose, with some focus, letting it go once in a while to zoom out again, and then see, hey, am I still on track? Go back. Eventually that will lead to, a better life, higher quality of life.
Yeah, I like that. The 12, I'm thinking, I've done a meditation course at a place called Corpalo here in the States. And I did it with this guy, Joe Dispenza, and we weren't meditating for 12 hours a day. I mean, this was learning the neuroscience behind it and then actually going through some meditations. And just doing a guided meditation was I say mind-blowing, but literally, I can't imagine 12 hours connecting. We did maybe 4 hours or 5 hours over the course of 2 days or 3 days. And the power was insane. But then also, I'm listening to an audiobook by a gentleman named Brian Tracy, and he talks about just going into like tranquility, just go be quiet, like disconnect from your technology, from noises, put yourself in nature if you can, and just listen. Keep a journal on your side. Don't write anything down for at least a half hour, an hour, and just listen. I guess observe
and be
the thoughts. And I just heard this yesterday, so I think it's really neat. You're having this conversation with me today. I mean, there's no mistakes in the universe as far as I'm concerned. But I find it really neat and inspiring that, I don't think there's anything new. I think we all start to figure things out from, obviously those before us and aside from us, and I don't think they're figuring it out new either. They're just maybe able to deliver a package very differently than we've heard it before. And with how much, what do you call it? Static in the world, if you will, like across airwaves, it's hard to be connected to yourself and even other human beings at times.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the technologies are great. We can connect to anything and everything, and at the same time, if you don't know where you stand for, I mean, you get lost, and you get everybody else pressing your buttons and asking your attention. And I mean, the AI is so strong; they know where to press your button. Exactly. So each time, okay, is this what I truly want? Do I definitely need this again? Of course, super great online course which will change my life, or maybe I should just step back, really understand what is it going to bring me. Is it really what I need right now? And then decide. So less is more. Really, I think that's going to be the success for the coming 50 years, that people really understand themselves. Because if you don't live by your values and with the right purpose, all those technologies can be really, really, really bad for us. And if we use them in the right way, it's perfect.
Yeah. I think that's so true.
I mean, we connect.
Yeah.
We connect now. How great is this, man?
Yeah. I don't have to fly. I mean, I wouldn't mind taking a trip over there, believe me. But
Sure.
but,
next time.
But this is great. I agree that this is a beneficial use for technology, because now this message is going to go out to thousands of people,
As well.
And it's going to be able to impact someone else's life. Someone's going to listen and go, I could take something from this. I can learn from this. I can take action and be a better version of myself. So
yesterday I was talking to my coach, and she's based in India.
Okay, there you go.
And a completely different cultural background. So that makes it additionally extra interesting for me as well to have a coach with this background. And as easy as that, it's all possible.
Yeah. So it's neat. So you mentioned the word purpose a lot, and I think it's a very powerful word. I would love for you to give your short description, if you will, of like, what is a purpose? Like how would someone attempt to start to find their purpose after you say what a purpose is, but how would they start that process of finding? I know we mentioned the silent retreat is is finding
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah,
but
but that's not specifically finding a purpose. Yeah, a
exactly.
purpose is, of course, why are you here for in this world? So any successful corporate has got their own vision and mission statement.
Hmm.
So it begins with your vision. Your vision is to spread the world of unleashing human potential in a
Yeah.
diversity of areas. And your mission is probably had by this podcast, other things,
Uh-huh.
how to get there. And your purpose is also, what I already said, is also important, based on which values. And probably the values behind a mission like that is probably service to others as well, inspiring others. So inspiration is there, creativity because you like to create stuff.
Hmm.
So those are values that need to be respected in whatever you do in order for you to have a fulfilled life, living with purpose.
Mm.
And that's in your business, but in your any relationship that you have, those values need to be respected and not violated, because otherwise you will not have this purpose. This purpose in life.
That's like living out of my own integrity, or someone would be living out of their integrity. Can think of
If
it that way.
integrity is a very important value, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
authenticity,
Yes.
yeah. And then you ask what would be like if you want to have a like what's a tip? Where do I start? I
Yes.
think
Exactly.
one of the strongest exercises, and I actually use it in almost any training or coaching, is one comes from Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's the second habit, which is called begin with the end in mind. And basically this visualization is, imagine that you will go to a funeral in 3 years time from now, and you do the whole imagination,
Yeah.
visualization, see
Hmm.
people, and well, it's your own funeral.
Yes.
And there are 5 people to speak, or how many you want. Somebody from your family, your partner, children,
Hmm.
somebody from your work, in a social whatever, maybe your neighbor, and then ask yourself, what do you want them to tell about you? What do you want them to say? And based on these stories, which will never be, oh yeah, he rocked, man, he made 50 transactions a week.
Yeah.
Uh, no, he was a fun guy, we had a good laugh, blah, blah, blah. Probably things like that will happen. He was a smart guy. He always helped me out. So those will be the stories. And from those stories, you can actually do a value clarification. Okay, so which values are important here? And how do I want to be perceived? And so from that, you can actually build your personal mission statement, which will be like your inner compass, your northern star. Like, okay, that's where I need to go. That's my purpose in life. And how does that work in those different relations? Do I solely want to be successful in my business? Oh, hold on. I'm also a family man. At least that's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
And then you get a sort of like gap identification. Like, okay, shit, man, this is not working for me. Or, okay, so, and then you can make step-by-step changes in order to follow that purpose. And it's a direction. I mean, it's just finding balance, going towards that. Yeah.
So when you bring people, I know you work with people both remotely, like you even work with your own coach.
Yep.
You're working with people, individuals, companies, whatever it may be, remotely. But people come to Tenerife to have this kind of experience. What is a Zenerife experience? Like, what does that even?
Zenerife experience.
Yeah. I'm curious because I see the images on your website. I mean, the place is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it's right. We offer like online coaching, so from a distance, and we offer specific trainings. So that's a week with a group, as you know. And I think the experiences that we offer, like the Zenerife experience, is unique because basically we say, actually, I'm sitting now in the kitchen of our guest house.
Okay.
So that's it's called a basement, but as you can see, there's light outside, so it's a pretty neat place. And basically we say to people, just come and live a week with us. and experience what a more balanced lifestyle, really spending much time in nature with your family, running your businesses at the same time, and just experiences what that means. I mean, I spend 2 hours a day just in the morning with my son, have a breakfast, then bring him away to the kindergarten for 4 or 5 hours. We do our business. We always eat together. With a lot of family and friends come by. So we really, really dedicate our time to what we want. And the best thing of the Zenerife experience is that actually we're not just doing anything. We're just living our life. And people see what's happening there. And we learn best by modeling.
Yep.
If you see somebody doing something, you just model it. And that's how children learn. But that's also how we as grown-ups can learn. Mm. And we started the idea because we had about 15 to 20 weeks of visitors, like family and friends coming over each time. And they just thought, man, this is inspiring. And hey, I'm going to make some changes. And suddenly they started to buy juicers, or I'm eating more healthy, or I'm actually now really changing my job, or ending my relationship, or starting a new one from that, whatever. Could be anything.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, this is interesting. Okay, so this is powerful. And they all said, this is not normal. The conversations that we have here, they're really like profound. And I was like, oh, really? I have them on a daily basis. It's, yeah, but that's not normal. Okay. So then this idea started, and we sort of commercialized it, and with success.
Yeah. So go ahead, keep going. My brain's going as we're going. Go. Well, so we come out like. Do people come out as couples? Do people come out as a group, like an organization? Do people come out? Do you have like anything. Individuals? It's anything.
It was like the last two. There were two guys that were sort of in between jobs, like ending their corporate job, not knowing whether to look for another one or maybe become a freelancer. So that was basically their issue. Other people, we've got a family coming up now with 2 children that said, would it be possible to live abroad with a family? Mm-hmm. So the question or the challenge can be anything.
Okay. So it's not a specific thing. You have families, you have entrepreneurs, you have corporate businessmen, you have all the above are coming to just get out of the way of their comfort zone, I should say, to experience something different.
Yeah, and maybe to find the proof that, hey, actually it does work. It's always fear that is holding our back. Like, but that's not for me. We always have excuses, but I already have kids, so I can't move abroad. Mm. I need whatever. There's always an excuse not to do it, but basically it's fear-based, and that's also what I test for. Okay, is it fear or love? And if it comes from love, the decision to say no to something, it's great. Mm. But if it's just fear because you think you're not good enough or it's not possible for you, that's a missed chance, a missed opportunity to live this life to the fullest, right?
Yeah, of course. It's interesting. I think it's a neat way to look at it. I never thought of. Well, I don't think of a lot of things, but I love listening to a lot of things. But love and fear, just the decisions we make on a daily basis. I've heard recently, a very powerful word, and sometimes a very good word for yourself is the word no. And then even like I believe for yourself, like what you mentioned in your past, like you kept on wanting to take on new things, and it's like, no, I don't need to do more and more and more and more and more and more to fulfill what. So for me,
that's fear of missing out. It's fear.
Yeah, exactly. So, I challenge, I have the same kind of mental challenges with myself from time to time. Because I love creating, I love having these conversations with people like you. I run a full-time chiropractic practice. I do this full-time. I have another podcast that's launching full-time. And, I guess I just need to build more of me, if you will, right? Just create, rather than me saying I got to do all of this stuff, and I'm learning a lesson here as we speak, right? I think this is great, but just, it's okay to say no to things that your heart is not in and that you're not in love with doing, not just because you may make $1 more or whatever it may be.
Yeah, that of course depends. I mean, you need probably $1
Well, no, of course, but you know what I
in
mean.
shelter. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I know what you mean. And what also, my actually an insight I just got actually last week is we always have the why question, and I think the why question we can always answer. Why do you want to do this? Yeah, to inspire more people, to make it bigger. But I think, you might spend too much energy on that
Yeah.
and not being true to yourself. A good question there, I think, is also what is it bringing me, and what would it bring me if I don't do it?
Yeah.
Because that's a more specific question. Because I can always answer the why. Why do you live on Tenerife? Oh, great weather, this and that, blah blah blah. Okay, what value does it serve you? Well, freedom, authenticity. Okay, so it's still in check. But that question is way more specific and will give you more insights.
Yeah. What if you
So
do and
what
what
does
if
it
you
bring you?
don't? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And is it in line with that purpose and those values?
Yeah. What was also
Because starting ten podcasts in your
yeah.
case would be in line with your purpose
Yeah.
if it's about lifestyle. But then
Of course.
again, it will burn you out. So
Exactly.
balance.
Exactly. You know, I was thinking that it's like it's crazy, what good are people like you and I and these great people that I get to interview, what good are we if we can't live the life that we're
Yeah,
we're teaching? If we're burning ourselves out, how does that support, or how does that help or
yeah,
inspire other people?
exactly. I called my coaching practice, which I run next to Zenerife, I called it Walk the Talk.
Uh-huh.
Because yeah, I see so many trainers, coaches practice what you preach, and then I reached out for them just to see whether we could co-train or something. And oh man, I was coaching them because their big shit came up,
Yeah.
like completely distressed, financial distress, but they couldn't speak out because they were afraid to lose their clientele, their following,
Mm.
stuff like that. And I was like, oh man, I feel bad for you because you can't bring your message across in a proper way if this is how you are. You're not relaxed and chilled out
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot,
Yeah, I believe it does.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people that, and I imagine these are going to be a lot of people that are attracted to you, like these people that want to do more, give more, serve more, but don't
yeah,
have the capacity internally or physically or mentally, whatever it may be, to do it all.
yeah,
So if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening to this and you sound like me a little bit, right? We're saying like we're adding pieces to the pie here, more stuff to the cake batter of life. Um,
mm.
you don't want too many ingredients, but it's not going to come out right. Right? You
Exactly,
need the right amount
exactly.
of ingredients.
Italian cooking, three basic quality ingredients, and that's it.
Exactly. So less is more, and I guess more focus. So man, this is really neat. So what else? What else?
May I say one more on that?
Yeah,
Just because
please.
we're talking about it. So, talking about the coaches and trainers that themselves still have their challenges.
Uh
Um, I challenge you.
huh.
I wrote a few blogs myself about the power of vulnerability,
Uh huh.
and just wrote about my shitty day and why I tried to be a sort of homo universalis, doing everything I could just to prove myself because I was once hurt in the
Mm,
past, and just wrote openly about it. Nobody responded in the open sphere either, but I got so many private messages like, "Hey man, shit, this is pretty cool." And
powerful.
also, exactly, and especially the big guys, the big people that really need to keep their ego in check in order to be successful.
Yeah.
Especially they came out like, "Oh shit, man, yeah," and that's why I drink so much because I bring it down by drinking. So okay, or maybe
Wow.
you
Yeah.
should just open up and be more vulnerable because I did some really deep work on that
Mm.
also in with other people, and whew, that was those were the biggest revelations in my own life.
Yeah. That's
Looking
that.
at like yeah,
That's a big word. I've been coming across that and working with one of my mentors. Vulnerability is huge.
yeah,
Again, and we just talk about telling the truth.
and making contact with your pain because everybody has their pains.
Mm-hmm.
And make contact with them. Don't try to push it away.
Mm-hmm.
Just see that it's there and it drives you.
Yeah.
And it also serves you. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're afraid to disappoint people, you can be very altruistic, and that's nice. That's the power.
Yeah.
Then again, if you get in the overdrive, you lose yourself and you're out of balance.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, you're not going to be able to make every single person happy or like you or whatever, and that's been that's been like my early challenge is, was a young doctor, a dozen years ago, is I walked in and started working with my father, had to create some business and create some practice, take care of patients, but I have all of these this huge practice, been around for almost 30 years at the time, 20 plus years at the time. Now these patients are like, well, I want them to like me so I can actually help take care of them, but I had to earn trust. I mean, is what it came down to, and I just had to be me. I couldn't try to like be my dad, if you will, like try to
Yeah.
be someone I'm
Yeah.
not, type of thing. So things work out. It works out perfectly. I've become much more of an authentic person, like a zero BS. And it's just who I am, and it works out in my practice. It works out being able to have conversations and connect with you, with people like you. I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing if I couldn't be authentic. I mean, I can be vulnerable,
Yeah.
and that's why I let people kind of use me sometimes as a test subject during conversations. But I learn a ton.
Yeah.
I learn an absolute ton from someone like you who's had some very different experiences in life than I have. And I think everybody listening, if
Thanks.
you're paying
Yeah.
attention, like there's something to learn here, right? If
Yeah.
hit that rewind button a few times and listen to the conversations we're having. But I know we're going zigging and zagging, but they're all to have a better life, right? It's about life.
Definitely.
We only have one of them, right? As far as I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
more, but
Quality of life.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is, so we said like living in Zenerife, and you live in Zenerife, really, right?
Nice. Yeah. I live
So,
in Tenerife. Always completely zen. No, not true. I've got sleepless nights here as well, but at least when I wake up, there's sun and a clear sky. Yeah.
So that's interesting. I want to have a little conversation about this. I live in New York, so right now, as we're speaking, it was supposed to be raining and cold here. It's been snowing heavy all day, all day.
Mm-hmm.
I love the snow. I love the cold, but I really love warm weather. And my grandmother, who is in the States, they call it a snowbird, someone that goes south for winter and stays warm, right? And then comes back up
Yeah.
here in the summer to enjoy the summer up here in New York. So she says, I said, well, why do you like Florida so much? Like, what's the deal? And she goes, it's much more conducive to living. I go, why do you say that? Well, the sky's blue most of the time. It's warm. It's comfortable out. Everything is green. Nothing is gray and dark. So it's easier to be happy. I go, oh, interesting. So, I mean, I can imagine that plays nature for you, and environment has to play a big role, I think, in
Big time.
the Zen, if you will.
Definitely. Environment is so important. I live in a village, but basically sometimes I feel like, man, nothing is happening here. But then I can reach out to the world by technology, because, yeah, I can get a bore out here. But that's basically good. It's easier to ramp up, I think, than in order to constantly try to suppress it.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, I live next to the beach. It's warm weather. I can do amazing outdoor sports. So yeah, the environment is definitely important.
Yeah.
Always.
Always. So, and speaking of environment, it doesn't necessarily only mean, I'm making this a little bit bigger than it is, but it doesn't mean nature. It also can mean people. Can it mean lots, like family, everything, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, do you want to change your diet? And do you live next to the McDonald's and stuff? And each time you get those sensory inputs, like bam, 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 that's almost masochistic.
Yeah.
Just try and break a bad habit whilst around you all the time. So create your environment for success. I've been reading and following James Clear. He wrote a book, Atomic Habits. I think it became a New York bestseller.
Yeah. I know.
And you
I
could
haven't read
already
it.
say
but I
up
know
front, okay,
Yeah.
it's a very good book. I really love him. So if you want to change your habits, check it out. Good stuff. And he's so much design your environment for success. And I just completely 100% agree with him. When I go back, like home, back to the Netherlands and meet up with my old former friends and family, I just start to live out my old life again.
Yeah.
And I'm eating stuff that I really don't eat here. And it's like, what's happening? And suddenly I'm drinking a lot of beer. Well, here I take one once in a while.
Yeah.
It's just environment. It's environment.
It's interesting you say that. The people you surround yourself with, and I've heard this from very successful people. Like, you're going to be like the people you surround yourself with, like the 5 most people you surround yourself with, and think about that. And I love, when you reconnect with old friends or people you haven't seen in a long time that may be in the same exact place they were 10 years ago, and you jump into their lives to engage and have fun, but then you just start to trickle. It's easy to trickle towards that, whatever they're doing. Like, oh wow, we used to do all of this, but I don't know why we would do it now. But you're doing it anyway. So it's
exactly
it's really crazy. It's really crazy. Yeah. But so then here's a question. Here's a coaching question, because I think this is be just a cool little trick, I think, for our audience. So you go back to the Netherlands now, right? We go back. You've had, life of training yourself and other people here in Zenerife. What does it look like? You go back, you meet up with some old friends. What are there some tactics or tricks that you use to say, okay, like a state change or something? So it's like, okay, we're gonna go get some beers and eat some fried food or whatever it is. Like, how do you allow your body to not fall into that mental trap?
Well, I choose. I make a deliberate decision up front. Like last week, I was skiing with a few friends of mine in the French Alps. So I said, okay, it's just for 5-6 days. So what am I going to do? Am I going to follow my own diet? Is it going to be a mix, or am I just going to let it go completely and see what, like, as an experience again, my body can handle 5-7 days of whatever, of course, and just see what happens. And I thought, like, okay, basically for 95%, I'll just go with the flow and see what happens. So ate a lot of meat. Well, I'm almost vegetarian. Drink way more beers than I normally do. Had coffees at night as well, stuff like that. So not the most healthy diet, in my opinion. And just also saw what was happening. And after 4 days, I really felt, I felt that I was still digesting, like, this is heavy, man. And even I couldn't ski it off, so to say.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, that's just it's a confirmation that my lifestyle, which I'm having now, is good. And like maybe the first time I changed of diet, I sometimes felt like, hey, okay, I feel better, but I really do miss, my beer, my stuff. Yeah. And I was like, hey, actually, I really don't miss it. I tried a few cigarettes. I was like, did I smoke when I was younger? Man. Ugh.
Yeah.
So it was basically more proof of, okay, this is okay. And of course, next time now I have this proof again. Next time I'll go to the Netherlands and I will set my mindset. Okay, keep to my diet. Also inform like family or friends. Okay, cool, I'm coming over. Could you buy this and this for me, because this is what I like to eat for breakfast as well, if it's possible. And as simple as that.
That's neat. So I think that's a great little tactic for everyone. If you make up your mind before you go do a ski trip, if you go visit family or friends, or whatever it may be, and be okay with your decision. I think that's probably one of the key points, because myself, and I had this conversation with another guest on the show not too long ago, is, I joking around, was I love eating healthy. I thrive on it because I know how I perform, I know how I function, I know how I feel, I know how my brain works, when I'm working, and how I know how to sleep, right? All this stuff. Yeah. But like I did an ultra marathon in May, and people that have heard the other episode are going to hear this story again, but I think it's just neat. I made the decision that after doing this 50K, that there's this cookie store in the city. Like, that's my kryptonite, is a chocolate chip cookie. And I absolutely love them. I don't really eat them frequently at all, if ever, but this place has this thing. It's like this thick. It's like, 2 or 3 inches thick, to die for, like almost raw in the middle. And I think they're like 600 or 700 calories. Like, it's like a meal for like a normal human
exactly,
being.
Yeah.
And it's one cookie. But, I bought it, prepped for it, and, I knew I was going to finish the race and wanted to have it. But my wife goes, you know what? You have like food remorse, like eater's remorse. Like, you eat it and you're like, damn it, why did I eat that? So with you saying, making that decision, I may have to, when I do those types of things, like, make a decision and just be okay with it. It's not the end of the world. It's like, don't beat yourself up, because all you're doing is, giving yourself shame, which you don't need. You just ran a 50K. If you want to have a cookie, have a cookie. If not, great. Have I had algae and macadamia nuts during the run, and pickle juice at the end. Like, so like, I did good, but but I think that's important. The decision before you go is so key, and accepting the decision and being happy with it.
Exactly, because if you go for the guilty pleasure, enjoy it, man. Because otherwise, you have this shame, and that's really a shame. You didn't even enjoy your pleasure.
Yeah, and I think that goes for everything, and that's why I wanted to circle around because you're someone that lives in this amazing environment that you've created by design, and people are coming to learn from you. And it's okay for you to say, I went to the Netherlands and you had a test, right? I was okay with eating the stuff I don't normally eat, doing what I don't normally do. Now I reaffirmed why I don't like doing that, right?
Yeah, so if you say like a measure for success for me is also openness of mind. And that's just also accepting what is. So, I mean, if you eat 2 pizzas now, okay, that's how it is. And you feel bad about it or like physically bad. So then learn.
Don't do it again.
Feedback and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because either you long for it or you try to push it away. It's both doesn't work. It's the other side of the coin. It's just there.
Yeah.
Okay, I was rude to you. Yeah, I can remorse that for the rest of my life, or just think, okay, shouldn't be doing that again. Apologize to myself, to you, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important. I think that's great. So Rob, I don't want to cut us short, but I want to know right now, like, where the best places for people to find you, to connect with you, like socially online, besides your website. We're gonna have that definitely in there. Are there other places that people could learn more about you, hear some stuff, maybe watch a video or two?
Yeah, well, I think the main portal is still the website.
Perfect.
www.zenerife.com. And why is that? Because also, and we'll be using social media more, but in a sort of direct manner, because I don't want to make this big, I'm everywhere around show either. So it needs to be high quality content. So sign up for the newsletter on the website and the rest will follow.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do, we're going to direct everybody to your website, but we're also going to let everybody know, if you go to lifestylelocker.com/Zenerife, don't worry, if you don't know how to spell it, just scroll down in the show notes. It'll be there for you. It'll connect you to all his links. And when you hit that website, it will pop up, just so you know. It takes a few seconds, but the newsletter will sign up, or you can hit it on the tab on the top as well.
Exactly.
So Rob, I mean, this has been a wonderful conversation. I'm excited. I wish I was able to do this conversation with you in Tenerife. Just seeing the sun, and you're in a basement. I got more sun in your basement than I have outside my house right now. So
who knows? Never say never.
I didn't say never. I won't say never.
Yeah, exactly. A nice Europe trip and Tenerife there as well.
Yeah, I think I could do Tenerife. I've been to Europe. I could enjoy the quiet time.
Perfect.
Well, Rob, thank you so much. This has been an excellent conversation. I'm sure we'll continue conversations online and everywhere else.
Cool.
I'm sure we'll meet up again too.
I hope so. Yeah. Really nice talking to you.
Yes, you too.
And till next time.
You got it, brother.
Cheers.
Hey, I hope you loved that episode with Rob from Tenerife, who's helping create Zen for people there and online and around the world. So if you want to connect with him more, please go ahead and do that. Go and check him out on his website and social. There will be all the details in the show notes. So make sure you do connect with him. And on another note, we have our official first Lifestyle Locker live style event. Myself and a business partner, Bradley Rausch, have created something called UHP Seminars. It's Unleashing Your Human Potential. And we are creating this event, which will be happening in May, actually May 10th and 11th. So if you are interested in coming to an event that's experiential, where you'll be doing amazing things like cold water immersion, meditation, and learning from some very smart people. A few have actually been on the show. So this is going to be a seminar like none other, and it will be sold out. So make sure you please go ahead and go to uhpseminars.com. I'll have that in the show notes as well to check out the show. All right, y'all, have a great day, evening, and night. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.